Hello. I wanted to make a video real quick. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Um, I'm in the, I've been in the process of moving for like months now, so I I have not really been in the flow of how I normally do things, like with daily routines and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this off the cuff. Just because it's something that I'm being called to talk about, based on something that I recently experienced. And without divulging too much information, I'm just going to go over real quickly something I thought that might be helpful to other people during, this time, whenever this video gets viewed. I have, first of all, my name is Maeve Maiden. Welcome to my channel. I have some videos. My channel is really random right now. Hopefully I will get, when I get kind of landed somewhere, because I'm kind of like flying in the ethers right now. I'm like in the cosmos most of the time, so my apologies if this is totally random. But basically, recently I had an encounter with a friend of mine who we were discussing like spirituality and things like that. And it just came up that I needed to talk about something that I think is very important for anybody who this might resonate for. So I have been dabbling in tarot for, I don't know, on and off for like 5, 6 years, 7 years, something like that now. I bought my first tarot deck like 7 years ago, I think it was. But I've always had a fascination with the occult. I had a Ouija board as a young girl. I used to I spent some time in cemeteries, stuff like that. I guess you would say talking to spirits, and so I've always had a fascination with that. That being said, I have always also had a very healthy respect, not a fear, respect for the dark aspects of spirituality, because they do exist. It's hard to say because no one really knows. I mean, unless you've kind of actually died and come back, which there are, of course there are people who have done that and they've spoken about their experiences, and usually they have a good experience and they speak about light, and they don't mention much about anything dark. And I think that's for a reason, because I think, if you have a strong spiritual belief, no matter what it is, no matter who you consider God to be, that is your viewpoint, and that's how you carry yourself throughout your life. And of course, we can change. I mean, you can be deeply religious, and then you can go into Buddhism or Judaism, whatever. You can go into different spirituality, and any of that can resonate with you at any points of your life. Don't think that just because you're born into a certain family, whatever, spirituality, religion that you're born into, you don't have to stay with it. Especially when you become an adult, it's almost like you're guided to reevaluate that and reevaluate your beliefs, and also just different life changes and things also cause you to reevaluate. I mean, a lot of people. I believe that I was sent a spiritual mentor who happened to be, oddly enough, he was my therapist. But turns out he's a very intelligent man, and I've actually become friends with him over the years. Yes, I know, a very strange way to have him be a mentor. But I'm not ashamed to say it. Yeah, he was my therapist, and I still am in therapy. And I appreciate the fact that I have him in my life, because I really do have great respect for him, and he does offer me a lot of spiritual advice. So a lot of what I've learned is based on what he and I have discussed and what he's taught me, and my introduction to spirituality had a lot to do with him. Besides what I grew up knowing and being kind of involved in, which was the Catholic Church. I grew up in a Irish Catholic family, deeply religious, and it was the backbone of my spirituality. Although I moved away from that, after being a teenager and going through different things and changes, and where I saw that those values just didn't match up with a lot of what I was learning or being taught at the time, or what I was going through. So it just didn't feel the same for me to go to church and be part of that whole thing. I didn't like, a lot of the times it was weird to me. Like, I always thought it was weird to me how in the Catholic religion you repeat things. It's like you repeat. It's almost like a cult sometimes. It seems like, I know it's weird to say, but it's like there's certain things, and even now today, like when I hear them, I'm like, I remember, not because it's so much in my heart that I believe it. It's just like it gets ingrained into your head. It's different things you have to say at different parts of when you're in church, in mass. You just have certain things that you have to say, and I didn't like that. So anyways, I moved away from that. But here's the thing. So this is the reason why I'm making this video. I had a friend of mine, and she was all, upset and worried and fearful of being involved in tarot. And I had seen a few videos about how people were talking about New Age stuff, and it's bad, it's evil, it's from the devil. And I just don't buy into that. So I had to make a video about what I think, just because it's something I feel like I needed to say for myself. And if anybody sees this might help you if you're feeling kind of like, it's good to evaluate everybody's different ways of thinking when it comes to spirituality, right? I mean, we are all people of a collective human race. We all have different spirituality, spiritual beliefs. But I came to realize that what mine was I was being tested in my own beliefs. Like, do I believe this? Like what she's saying, that it's evil and all this? And, out of fear, which I fell into, I threw out all my tarot cards and I went crazy, and it was just like a couple hours of like insanity in my day. And I was just like, later on I started to think about it, and I'm like, why did I become so fearful? I know what I know in my heart to be true. I have a Bible here, okay? Like, this is a Bible, and it's one I've had for a long time. I also have one here. This one's so worn over the years. My grandfather, this was one of the things I took out of his apartment when he passed, I believe, or he gave it to me. But anyway, it was my grandfather's, and that's why it's so worn, because it's so old. I mean, there's pieces falling out of it, but I keep it because it's sentimental to me, but also it just means a lot. But I miss the part in the front used to tell you, like, for anxiety, read this. I just like how simplified it is. On a crazy day, if you're having like a crazy day, or if you need to make a decision, it'll tell you, like, read this if you need to make a decision. And I like that. So anyways, these are things I keep in my room, I refer to often, and I use on a pretty regular basis, I would say. I pray every day, and not just, with Bibles or things like that, but, I pray, I make up my own prayers. I look at certain things in my life and see what I need to work on, and based on that, I make up a prayer that I think resonates for me, and I just say it every day, and I use that to help me in my life. But I also have my crystals, because thank God I did not throw out my crystals. I mean, the fact that I threw out my tarot cards pisses me off, okay? To no end. And I don't care. Everybody has their own beliefs, and I'm sure there's people that think I did the right thing and I shouldn't have tarot cards or whatever. That's them. That's not me. But I also have this. So along with the Bible, I have things like this. I have things like this. And they all have meaning to me. So I just wanted to make this video just to say, you know, things are not as black and white sometimes as we would like them to be. I think that everybody in this world has a certain thing that they believe, you know, when it comes to spirituality, what happens when we die. And I respect all of those different, that's what makes us different. I mean, God, how boring would we be if we all were just records repeating each other? I mean, nobody wants to live like that. And so, thank God, I ordered more, you know, tarot, and, you know, I can't, this is part of who I am, so, I have it right here with my Bible and everything. To me, it's just, it's part of who I am. Being an Irish Catholic, I feel the Celtic background that my ancestors had. I feel the mystics and the druids, and that blood is in my veins, is in my DNA. It always has been, and I don't deny it. I mean, I believe I can be have Christian beliefs and also still believe in the occult, and believe that, you know, my crystals help me in situations. My tarot cards give me answers sometimes. All of these things. So that was my main point in making this video, to say, you know, don't, if you find yourself in a newer spiritual enlightenment journey, whatever, if this is new for you, or if you're just starting, because I've seen some videos too on my suggested videos, like people, it's weird, like just starting, becoming spiritually awake and all this stuff, and that's awesome. I mean, it's such a crazy time. For me, that's what drove me into therapy, because I thought I was going crazy. I mean, so it's a wild ride, but, you know, I thank God every day that there is such a community like this on YouTube. I mean, I would just be so lost if it was just me. I feel like I do get a lot of answers by meditating and praying and honoring my ancestors and my family roots, you know, my Irish Catholic background. It definitely makes me part of who I am, and I will never deny it. And I will also never deny that I love and respect tarot and occult and practices of rituals, and I believe in magic, and I believe that all of that is part of our human earthly experience. I mean, that's what we came here for, is for these wild, crazy things. And if you give something like tarot, or I don't know, anything that you can sit there and say is evil and has some kind of crazy power, that's scary in itself. You know, divination and rituals and, you know, crystals and incense and sage and all of these types of things, herbal medicine, this is all something that, our ancestors used for thousands of years. I'm saying that loosely, but I mean, these are practices that were carried down and carried down and carried down, just like the Bible. So I just would never give some cards that kind of power over my life, that they would force me to think that they were evil and had some kind of evil control over me. I did buy into the fear, I did, for a little bit. I would say a day or two, and then I snapped out of it, and I was just like, what the hell? Where did this come from? So I just thought I would share those thoughts on my channel, which is, like I said, so random these days. I don't even know where it's going. I'm trying to basically make a lot of transitions and changes in my life, so once I get settled, I will have a more streamlined channel, I guess. But in the meantime, I just thought I would share these thoughts. Also, I'm going to do a separate video about crows. I've been watching I have a crow family, and I've been watching them lately, and they're just fascinating to me. So I'm going to put a bunch of videos up of my crows, and there's a local crow family that are just so fun and awesome to watch. So hopefully there's some peeps out there will enjoy that in the meantime, until I get some other videos up. But I just want to say peace and light. And lastly, let me leave just this message. However you feel, if you're not hurting anyone, the universe, whatever God you believe, knows what your intentions are. If you intend on harming someone or wishing someone ill will, or if you have any kind of hatred or vengefulness or revenge in your heart, that's something God sees. That's something the universe knows intrinsically. So if you don't have that, then there shouldn't be any problem with any books you read, any tools you use, any of that. So that's what I believe, and that's what I'm going to carry my beliefs on. And my position here on this earth is just to provide light, healing, loving energy. I don't have any hatred in my heart. I have been very, very angry at people, and I have wanted revenge in the past, and I'm not, I'm human. I'm very human. I have a shadow side. I'm not always happy and peace, love, and light. I'm not like that all the time, for sure. But my intention is always to wake up with a clean, pure heart, to put out as much of pure positive energy as I can muster in my life outwards and share it. And if I don't have that, and if I have moments of despair and anger and frustration, I work it out. Whatever I gotta do. I gotta exercise, I gotta punch the hell out of something, or I gotta write down really nasty stuff about somebody and then just, throw it away or burn it or whatever, then I do it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna ever allow that hostility to be turned inward at myself for a particular practice or ritual or divination tool or anything like that. I just wanted to put this message so no one judges themselves harshly for believing in these things, or gets scared or fearful of things that they should not be fearful of. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any fear, because fear is okay. Sometimes it helps us, not get hit by a car or something. It serves a purpose. But we should not walk around in fear that we're not going to be saved, and oh my gosh, we got too drunk one night and went home with a guy, and oh God, you're going to hell. Like, these kinds of things are just, not saying that that's advised. I'm just saying we can't beat ourselves up. We have to be accountable, but we can't beat ourselves up for curiosity and learning about ourselves through these tools that are here for us to learn. So, with that being said, oh, and these are all, I definitely recommend these books. I mean, if you, spirituality, if you have Bibles and stuff, by all means, yeah. But these are good books, too. I mean, along with Seth, Law of Attraction, with Esther Hicks. I watch those videos very, very, very often. I don't like that Oprah endorsed them. It kind of turned me a little sour to them. But they still help me when I need uplifting thoughts and ways to guide my... sometimes I need a little pick-me-up, and they put me right where I need to be as far as my positive mindset, because sometimes it gets a little shaky, especially when I worked in customer service and I talked to nasty people all day. So I needed it. And I also I don't have the book, but or any of the books that I need to show about Alan Watts, but Alan Watts, he's a godsend to me. I absolutely adore him. I listen to him every day, so that's another mentor of mine. I feel like I knew him in another life, and I just love and adore him. So anyway, let me know if you got anything from this. Comment, send me a message. Tell me what books really inspired you through your spiritual journeys. If you are just starting on a spiritual journey, these books are really helpful. They were for me anyway. Along with everything else, tarot, crystals, the Bible, prayer, meditation, nature. Nature has been huge, and I'm just so fortunate to have the trees, the forests, the flowing water, all of the things that I have access to, that I'm so blessed to have access to. I hope you have these things as well, and if you need any advice, reach out, let me know if I can help in any way. I would love to. I love to connect with people, and I hope maybe next time you'll come by. I'll have a little bit more content, but I had to put this video out because it really was something calling to me to say. So don't judge yourself too harshly. It's okay. It's okay if you like tarot. It's okay if you like tarot in the Bible and the Quran. I don't know. I mean, I'm learning about the Quran too. So anyway, we're all different, and spirituality is not one way. There's no one specific right way to do spirituality. So don't freak out about it. Do your research. Find out what works for you, and what doesn't work for you, that's okay too. That's all I wanted to say. So thanks for stopping by. Peace, guys.